Hey, Jordan. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. How you doing? Maintaining. That's good. That's good. That's all we can do. That's all we can do is maintain. Take it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, step by step, step by step. You're welcome. Thank you for those thumbs up. I appreciate you, whoever that is, whoever that was. So we going downhill. And downhill can be harder than uphill. Can't go too fast, y'all, too long, because as you can see, my phone will pop. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I hadn't seen anybody today, really. I was about to say I gotta come check you out because I'm sure you did some lives this morning. But I was so busy at work today. I really haven't seen anybody. I haven't done a short, or I haven't done anything. I haven't seen anybody. I kind of just looked at the app, but as soon as I thought I would get a break to kind of scroll a little bit, had to get up and move. Had to get up and move. Had two clients to come in at the same time to get trained today. Now wasn't a problem, which it wasn't a problem, but because they've teamed up before, they're teammates, but they haven't been coming together lately. So, and then they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me, which that's not a problem either, because they pretty much have a really, really good routine. So, had to get them together. Wasn't expecting that. And then, when you do stuff like personal training or fitness and stuff, you get to talking. You get to talking. We're going uphill, guys. And as I told you, downhill can be harder than uphill, right? So I usually try to trot downhill. Sometimes I try uphill. It just depends on my mood. So we're coming up. We're coming up. You got to push, pull, and pull yourself to the top. We're up here. We're up here. Let's see. My body do way better going downhill compared to uphill. Really? Really? I think that's true for a lot of people. But if you have a certain way you want to walk and certain muscles you want to target, downhill can take more concentration. Most of the times you're going uphill, the first mindset is to pull. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. And it can be tedious. And it can get you out of breath, right? But when you're going downhill, not only have to focus on what muscles you want to work, you have to focus on making sure you don't end up going too fast. And you have a more likelihood of tripping going downhill. Not everybody, but generally speaking, you've got to pay attention. You know, it's like riding a bike. You know how you're riding a bike? It can be hard going uphill and way easier going downhill. If you get off balance, oh my gosh. If you get off balance, you already know what time it is, especially like on a bike or a skateboard. So when you're walking or jogging, it's kind of the same concept. Yeah, it's hard to kind of pull yourself up sometimes up the hill, but when you're going down, you better focus. You better focus because that footing can get away from you. And the tumble downhill is much more, it's worse than the tumble uphill. Right. You know. That tumble downhill is worse than that tumble uphill. But don't get me wrong. For some people, both are hard, you know, or not necessarily hard, but work. Both are work. I feel dizzy and nauseous from concentrating. Well, you got to take a break from concentrating. You just got to let it flow. You got to let it flow, Abu. Sometimes you can't concentrate too hard. So if you feel dizzy and nauseous from concentrating, you got to let it go. Jordan, you know, you got to be moving. It takes one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. But when you're going uphill or downhill, we got to be careful. Yeah, I see this squirrel. He has, I don't know what he found, but this squirrel just found him like a huge piece of food. It looks like a big hunk of chicken or something. I'm moving forward right now. Have you moved today for at least minutes? Have you moved for 30 minutes today? I'm not stopping, Abu. Abu, you better not be over here trolling. I'm telling you, if you troll, you can hang around if you got good comments, okay? But if you're a bad troll, we got to get you out of here. We need to get you moving forward, backwards, sideways, diagonally. We got to get you moving some kind of way. I can't look at your feet. I feel myself. You feel yourself getting sick. Why are you watching my feet then? Because, see, I want people to watch the feet move. You got to watch the feet move. You got to get up and move. And I'm not motivating anybody, okay? I learned my lesson on that. But what I do is I encourage people. If you have a fitness journey, I encourage you to get up and move your feet. Hey, Stefan. How you doing, Stefan? Let me see what Abu said. Abu gonna make me have to block him. He was doing so-so, but now I'm gonna have to block him. So you gotta keep watching it being dizzy. Or you gotta go on and troll somebody else, Abu. I'm good, Stefan. Glad to hear that. Going up another little mini hill. I had Abu in the chat trolling. I told him, I don't mind trolls, okay? And the more I say that, the more some of the birds that left away from over here are starting to say that. See, a good troll is a good view. A bad troll is the one that gets on your nerves. A good troll is a good view. But a bad troll, or a troll that makes absolutely no sense, like, what are you talking about? You got to get your subject-verb agreement together. You got to get your subject-verb agreement together. And don't blame it on your accent. Like, some of them like to say it's their accent. Nah, I just need you to speak correct English. Because I don't care if you have a northern accent or a southern accent or a Midwestern accent or whatever. Whatever accent you have, I can't understand that incorrect English. It's okay sometimes. We all do it, right? Ain't, can't. But that, I don't understand it. You got to get it together. What is Stephon says? Sunny is so the, yeah, she is. She is. And Stephon, you know how like you don't want to say certain things. Like last night when I was talking about Sunny, like I said, I think Sunny is a pretty lady, and I think she's genetically just built. Even if she wasn't a bodybuilder, I think she would have that figure that where you're just naturally beautiful. You have a sculpted body. But tell me why somebody in that comment section today said 2 men and a baby. I was like, I know you lying. And, I was like, and somebody else said, I've been wanting to say it, but I didn't say it. And I was like, oh my God. I thought I was the only one thinking that, or like very few. But you know, people, I don't know how to feel about, well, I know how to feel about Sunny. I like Sunny, but I don't like her for Mike. But people, all this week, they've been pretty much seemed like 70% Team Sunny. Today, they were going in. They were going in. Thank you guys for those thumbs up. I appreciate you. They were going in. Of course, she still got some support. But, and you know, people were saying, oh, well, she handled Mike right. You can't have easy access and you're still undecided. And the thing about it though, he told her today that his situation is still what it is for right now. He hadn't even talked to Melissa. So that lets me know, and by him talking to Melissa's mom, that if Melissa wants to come home, she can come home. And he's already got it in his head to kind of, Mike is kind of he's so childish still. He's got it in his head that if Sunny allows, like she said, easy access, he's going to have it. But if Melissa comes home, he's going to try to be faithful. At this point, Mike, I don't think he needs to be with Melissa or Sunny, even though Sunny is pregnant. Because he is still too easily swayed by Melissa. So what if Melissa lets go, hands off, and Dom starts to push hard enough? If Dominique starts to push hard enough, he's probably done with Dominique. But just the fact that he's still willing with Melissa, he's back in square one, like where he was when Sunny's dad. When Sunny's dad came, and he was like, you're seeing both of them, my daughter too, you're going to have to make up your mind. And remember, he didn't make up his mind. He was like, I'm grown, whatever. So the dad and Sunny made up his mind for him. So I don't feel like Melissa got him by default, because Melissa knew, and Melissa didn't like it. Sunny knew, and Sunny didn't like it. But when her dad stepped in, he was like, you're too good for this. Then it all ended. So he got with Melissa, and now they're a couple / kind of couple. But he told her today, Mike ain't got no money, but Mike got money for what he wants. So he ready to get her an apartment. And like I said, now I was proud of Sunny. You're not going to have easy access. You know, even if you were to get an apartment, it's not easy access. Because like she said, why can't I move into your apartment? Because you have a roomie, right? You have a roomie. So, but Sunny is dumb though. She's not strong. When it comes to men, you married a gay man. And if you choose to marry a gay man and you want to do that, that's fine. But you didn't want that. And anybody could tell that man was gay. Hold on, y'all. Okay, anybody could tell that man was gay. So she married for money. I don't necessarily think she's with Mike for money. But like I said in the comments, Sunny is like 7-Eleven. She stays open. She opens too easily. You know, she opens too easily. And everybody has noticed that baby is not like that's not like a 3 week, that was like maybe 3 weeks ago, barely a month ago. Her baby is probably like 6 weeks. Sunny is pregnant by the other man. They may not write it like that because see, I think they do listen to us. I think that's why they wrote it in there so that she could still end up being pregnant. I still think that they listen, but I saw a lot of people today saying that after this year, they're done. Now the channel is growing. His skits, they're growing. He's got over 500,000 now. But people who have been watching for years, they've gotten tired. They've gotten tired because she is so dumb, feeling sorry for yeah, and wants to go check on her. She is going to give her bad advice and how to treat Mike during the exactly. Shayla has nothing good to say to Sonny, and does she really think that Shayla wants to hear that, even though she's over there spazzing out about Anthony? Does she think she already feels like Sonny was a traitor? Remember how she always threw shots? Always threw shots. So she doesn't want to hear that. And then right now, Sonny is in a situation where she's not completely happy. She's happy about her baby, but her relationship situation isn't that happy. Shayla is on down and out. She doesn't even need that energy. Sonny doesn't even need that energy. Hey, Azrael. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing, Azrael? I've missed you. She doesn't even need Shayla's energy. Shayla is over there driving Piari crazy. And she comes over there, Sonny goes and tells her that she's pregnant by Mike. You know how good Mike was to Shayla and her baby? Shayla's gonna get jealous. She's gonna get jealous. She's gonna get jealous. Even though, you know, Mike is in a sticky situation with Melissa and he and Sonny aren't totally together, Shayla's gonna get jealous. Because he doesn't have to be totally with Sonny. Shayla knows how he's gonna do about his baby. So, like they said, this is a Shayla and Anthony part 2. He wanted to get that apartment to have easy access. Just like Anthony got the apartment for Shayla for easy access. So, it's crazy. I just don't. I see that baby will end up being the other guy's baby. And you know how Mike's track record with kids. He does have a child, Blake, but he wasn't there to help raise. So the other young man he thought was his child wasn't. Now he's going to be a part of this pregnancy. And I think they're going to find out that it's not his baby. Or, I don't know what's going to happen. But I just don't see him and Sonny ending up being together. Azra, what you been up to? Right, Stefan, right. Like the same old negative stereotypes. And Mike, it's just a stereotype that they have placed on our community from day one. And do those things happen in our community? Yes. But they happen in other communities too. We got somebody who called themselves a president and got 3 baby mamas, okay? I mean, it happens in other communities too, but they like to put that stereotype on us. And then Mike at his age, even Wayne gives bad advice. Wayne has knowledge, he has some wisdom, but he gives the advice to people. How all of a sudden you so hurt about Shayla when Shayla lied to your brother? You and Shayla didn't really like each other. And he over there giving Shayla, ain't nothing wrong with giving somebody a pep talk, but he over there giving her a pep talk like they old high school friends or something. After what she did to his brother, got with his friend Mike, and then did to her best friend. And I understand, like, Amber got mad with Anthony today, because, like, how you talking about you feel sorry for her? Like she said, her pillow was soaked with tears every night by herself. And I do understand when Anthony says it's a little different because of Kai. But still, why are you feeling bad for Shayla? So that's got people still kind of looking at him cross-eyed. You remember he told Shayla to trust the process? Anthony is ruthless. He can be ruthless. I have no doubt Shayla was getting on his nerves because he really couldn't tell her what he wanted to do, I guess, if he ends up turning on Amber again. So he said trust the process. That threw a whole bunch of people off. It could have been innocent, but when you say trust the process, that means things may not be looking the way you want them to look right now, but it's going to get better. Okay, his music was real loud, y'all. It means that things are, may not be the way you want them to be right now, but things are going to be better. So trust the process. I didn't like that. A lot of people didn't like that, and they still remember that. So when he told Amber this morning he felt bad for Shayla, and it was different because of Kai. Well, you know, since Wayne is about being religious, kind of, you know, on the biblical side, it says that your wife becomes before you and your kids, your husband before your kids. So why are you feeling so sorry about your mistress? Why are you so sorry about your mistress? Why you feel bad about her? How about feeling bad when Amber walked in their room and caught y'all and you continue to lie? You ran. You continue to lie. You ran. And while Wayne trying to give Shayla pep talk, did he know that Shayla's the one that bust on him and Amber? Shayla's the one that told that she was cheating with him the day of the wedding. So, I don't know. I just don't see Sonny and Mike. You know, the writers are so crazy. It's like, even though he's growing, you know how sometimes some people are like, oh, it don't matter, they're going to watch anyway. Well, if those numbers, those sub numbers start to drop down, he's going to change his mind. Or if the audience starts to just be angry too long, because you know how they are. Sometimes they do things to make you angry. They're not going to write it exactly the way we want it. And I understand that. Okay, gone. Oh my God. God don't bless no mess. And it be a lot of mess. He don't bless no mess. And it be a lot of mess. A lot of mess. He don't bless no mess. And he always talking about Jesus is popping. Right. That's why I'm like, Sonny and Mike, you know, and it's almost like they set us up for mess with Sonny and Mike from the day she walked in there with her husband. And he was looking at her. And Shayla caught him looking. So now Shayla gonna think all the way back to that. And she's gonna be like, I always knew you liked her. Why? Shayla gonna go confront Mike. And that has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with her. She's gonna go and confront and watch. Mike ain't feeling what she's gonna be talking about, because Mike said that's her karma. He said, isn't that her karma? Because Sonny's still trying to feel bad for her. Girl, Shayla don't like you. She don't like you. I think, you know what, Stefan? I think she wants to go over there and rub it in Shayla's face. She talking about she feel bad for Shayla, right? I kind of believe that in a way, because they are two birds of the same feather. Sonny is a lot like Shayla. And I still believe too, like they said, that Sonny tried to set Mike up. I believe that. Because you're a grown woman. And Mike is definitely a grown man. Mike is 40-something. She's 30-something. You don't have unprotected anything and not expect the possibility of a baby. So like Melissa said, Melissa's not the dummy. You didn't use anything, and you didn't at least even pull away. Who does that? You didn't use anything, and you didn't pull away. Who does that? And you know, he on Melissa's head about her birth control pills. Did you even ask Sonny, was she on birth control? Did it even matter? Did it even care? Did you even, you know, I guess he felt like that's her responsibility. But you know, he wasn't thinking with the right head. He wasn't thinking with the right head. And he really wasn't thinking with Melissa, when it comes to Melissa, because at some point, usually your mate will ask you, you know, they'll see that you're on birth control pills. Well, I guess it's been times where, you know, you have a mate, they don't just necessarily grab your pill pack, you know, and make sure that you're on track or make sure that you're on the right week. But when he got the pack and saw the day, I guess the days being kind of funny. Maybe it's a Monday, she hadn't had a pill since Friday or something, you know, so I guess that's, you know, that's enough to question it. But you know, just the fact that he even looked. The skits are so stupid. He looked at her pill pack and didn't ask Sonny, was she on any birth control? He didn't ask her. And my thing is, if she laid up with Mike like that, yeah, I know she and Mike are closer. Then she laid up with the actor like that. She laid up with the actor like that. And that's why I feel like that could be his baby. And even though Mike has gone through the thing with the, I forgot the young man's name. And even though Blake is his, but he didn't raise her. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up not being his. But I just hope they don't drag it out for 2 years. They drag stuff out for too long. People have 2 or 3 birthdays and they still on one storyline. Or they'll drag one part of the storyline out. Like Melissa finally knowing, we were so glad because that stuff with Shayla and Anthony, first of all, they cheated throughout her pregnancy. That's 9 months. And it was literally 9 months in Skipville. Then they still didn't find out for a while. Then when they found out, look at how long it took him to stop being a knucklehead, living with her, and finally decide. And of course, a lot of people think that's because of the money. But look at how long it finally took him to decide to go ahead and get back with Amber. It's been almost 2 of every holidays. It's been almost 2 of every holiday. Dom is one I am with. She brings value to the relationship. Rafi and D still don't know about Momo. And then next thing you know, Stefan, the reason I don't like the writing is because it seems like they're never gonna know. And then when we forget about it, they'll pop out with some crazy twist. Not even a twist. It'll just pop out and nobody will care anymore. Like, who cares? Like, Rafi, he's still into her. I don't think he's as into her as he was, but he's still making poor choices when it comes to Momo. Still giving her way too many chances to keep her job. Sat there and gave her $1,000. Momo lied. Doesn't Momo owe that guy like $15,000? Why would you lie? Why not just tell the truth? I know she don't want to, she's trying to make it so that it doesn't look like she's using Rafi or whatever. But why not just tell the truth? And why can't your little female pimp help you? You notice how she was always looking out for them, getting enough money to get her nails done and her friends' nails done. They were just pimping her out. And now that she really needs some money, every time she's with her friend now, it's like they're meeting up. It's like they're meeting up. Not even together. I'm so glad Melissa got away from her. I'm really glad Melissa got away from her. Because at first I was thinking the thing with her and J-Mo, you know, they think we forget too. Because they said that Momo is from Miami. And they said like she's not too long been in Atlanta. But then about her and J-Mo getting together, they said that they were kids. So are you from Miami or are you from Atlanta? Because when she and J-Mo supposedly got together, they were young in high school or something. But now they've always said she's from Atlanta. From Miami. So she could be from Georgia and could have gone to Miami, but it's just too much mix up. The writers get confused. And we know they get confused because look at how much they drop videos that aren't right. Remember they dropped Jay and Ernestine. Supposed to be Jay and Ernestine talking about Mama AJ. But it was Q and Sherman. And we had already seen that one. He is giving $1,000 to her and he never got. Okay. Still giving her money. Never got nothing. Never. So that's why Sade told him yesterday, when it comes to Momo, she can do no wrong. So it's like you see stuff and you want to tell him, but why tell him if he's going to be a knucklehead? Like every time she does something, he may get a little ticked off and, Momo, that wasn't right. Or Momo, you can't do this in my store. It's like you can't do this in my store. When is it going to be Momo, you got to go? Sat right there and gave that girl $1,000. And she needs $15,000. So you know what she's going to do with that $1,000? She's going to spend that on whatever. Momo looking to hit that $5,000 here, $5,000 there, $2,000 or $3,000, and then wrap it up. She can't do nothing with $1,000. Not for her debt to run. That's a big debt. She got a big debt. Right. So, uh, yeah, I couldn't hear what he said. I didn't want him to be on YouTube in case he said something wild and crazy. But I couldn't hear what he said. You know how, like, when you listen to somebody, but you really can't hear them, so you just laugh anyway? Because you know they weren't saying anything serious, so you just laugh. This is the pecan tree. Soon it'll be pecans all over the ground. Probably like into September, maybe late August, we'll start to see them hanging off the tree. They'll start falling maybe mid-September. That was him. That was him. He was out there with his mama today, though. And his papa was sitting back. Okay, that was music, y'all. Yeah, Papa was sitting back. He was out there with his mama. But yeah, I don't really, like I said, I like Sonny. I don't even know who I would like Sonny with. I don't like it with Mike because it's just they just both look too big to be, I don't know. Sonny's not big, like, but I guess I'm just so used to Melissa, right? And like I said, Melissa, and the reason I like Melissa so much is because Jocelyn, like yesterday, they all talked down on her. And I'm so glad that they didn't let Dom tell Mike, you know? And I'm wondering how Jocelyn is going to handle Sonny and Dom. Because she's Mike's godbaby. So I'm sure Dom don't like that. But she's Mike's godbaby. Godbaby. Godmother, baby's godmother. She's Mike's baby's godmother. Okay? And she's cool with Sonny. Has given Sonny and her sister a place to live a few times. So, and she and Dominique were best friends at one point. And they're getting their relationship back together. So I wonder how Dom is going to treat Sonny. Because she treats Melissa like crap. She talks badly about Melissa. So I wonder how she's going to treat Sonny. And Sonny, you know, she hit Liz. And Sonny knew that Liz couldn't do anything with her. She hit Liz. To me, that was a coward move. I know Liz is crazy. But look at Liz and look at Sonny. Look at Sonny and look at every woman on there. The only woman who could probably handle Sonny, young woman on there, is Amber. Amber. I don't think Amanda could. Maybe Amber. Maybe Pierre's friend. Latotsi. Because just because she built muscle bound don't mean she's still stronger than the other women. But just looking at those women, I don't think she would have slapped Latotsi like that. I don't know about Ashley, because Ashley be giving, I don't know. Latotsi be giving, don't mess with me. When it comes to other women, Latotsi be giving, she don't play. So I don't think she would have slapped Latotsi like that. I don't think she would have slapped Amber like that. And I don't think she would have slapped the new lady, the new chick, Tawana, Pierre's friend. I don't think she would have slapped them like that. Woo, Nikki, yeah. Oh, Stefan, that's a good one. Okay, his music was a little bit loud. He's gone. Hey, bro. Hey, Big Kane. Welcome. How you doing, Big Kane? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to all of y'all in this chat. I know the day is winding down, but I hope you have a thoughtful Thursday. A thoughtful Thursday full of wonderful thoughts. Okay? I hope y'all did well today. I hope you've been having a wonderful week, a terrific week. And listen, tomorrow is the weekend's eve. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Get you some rest, relaxation, recuperate from the week, replenish, restore, refill. We're talking about those R words. All right? Re-implement some things, revisit some things, reconstruct, and make sure, first and foremost, always have respect. Respect for yourself and respect for others. And if they don't respect you, then keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I just got a notification of something. What was that notification, Stefan? It says when Country Wayne something, when Shayla does something, I couldn't see all of it. It just gave me a little preview. You're 34 pounds down? Oh, that's wonderful. Keep going, Stefan. Keep going. Keep moving. Keep doing you. Whatever you're doing to get that weight to come down, keep doing it because you've been doing good. You're down 34 pounds. And how long has it been? How many months has it been? See, you'll be taking your breaks and you've been working. You've been working. Stefan, do you think it's your diet, your exercise, or a combination? What do you think has helped most? Big Kane, what you doing, bro? What you doing? You off this weekend, Big Kane, if you're still in here? Going on 2 months? Diet? Okay. Okay. So how you feel? How have you been feeling? Have you noticed it in the way you feel? Like the types of food that you're eating? Can you feel it as well? I bet you can, especially since you've lost 34 pounds. I bet you can feel it. I cut a lot of meat, sugar, and okay, I got you. Sugar and butter. I got you. That's what you got to do sometimes. Those saturated fats. Just try to stick with the healthy fats, the monounsaturated. But there's that saturated fat and all that sugar. And it's so much sugar and stuff. It's so much sugar. It's ridiculous. And they got our taste buds accustomed to it. Like most of the things we eat, if you're a person who haven't paid attention to labels, and when you do start to pay attention to labels, you're amazed at how much sugar is in one item. And what's the funny part is a lot of times you're thinking it's a serving, the whole pack or the whole bag or the whole cup or the whole bottle. And half the times there's 2 or 3 servings in that bottle. And the sugar amount is per serving. So if it says 55 milligrams of sugar and you drink that whole bottle and you got 2 servings, that's 110. That's crazy. If it's 3 servings, that's what, 165 milligrams. And I think we only really need what is it? I think 20 grams if you're a woman, 25 grams if you're a man, something like that. Milligrams, grams, I can't remember which one it is, but it's 20 and 25, so it's probably grams. I can smell the toxin coming out of my skin the first few weeks. Wow. You eat a lot of raw veggies? Yeah. Yep, that'll help. That definitely helps. The broccoli, the cauliflower, the spinach, and sometimes you like those things. Some people say that they don't like veggies, period, let alone raw veggies. But you just got to train your taste buds. Thank you guys for those thumbs up. I do not beat you up about a thumbs because that is not the only way to support. I appreciate it. I like them. I would love to have them. But if you stop out here for a few seconds, a few minutes, a portion of this live, or any of the replay, you have supported as well, and I appreciate you. You know how you walk by some people sometimes, and you can tell who eats a lot of garlic? You can tell who eats a lot of garlic, a lot of onions. And it's like the past, I'll say 5 to maybe 10, I'll say 7 to 10 years. People have been on this garlic kick, and garlic is healthy for you. But as with everything else, moderation. You start to feel yourself getting gassy and bloated a lot more. Some people say it comes with age for them. But garlic, yeah. It's got those FODMAPs in it. Get your digestive system to acting up. Onions, same thing. Gassy, bloaty. From either end with the onions. From both ends with the onions. And for some people from both ends with the garlic. And if it doesn't bother you, and you are of a certain age, Don't brag too fast, okay? Because you never know when someone's gonna say boom, boom, and you're in there and you're feeling all bloated and gassy. So watch those sugars, watch certain veggies, watch certain fruit. The best fruit are the berries. The berries. The citrus fruits, they're great unless you have a problem with acid, with oranges and stuff like that. But lemons taste acidic, but once they're in your body, they become alkaline, okay? They become alkaline. And our bloodstreams are more alkalinic than acidic, okay? So I'm not gonna get too much into it, but your bloodstream is more alkaline than acidic. But yes, garlic and onions, they are healthy. But if all of a sudden you notice that you're getting more indigestion or having more digestive discomfort in the stomach, cut back on the garlic and or onions, definitely sugars, and you will notice a difference. You'll notice a difference. You'll definitely notice a difference. Really? Look, y'all household getting it in, Stefan. Y'all household is getting it in. Bread was your weakness. I stopped eating it and think that was my biggest issue. Right, right. And that's just like, that's why I always, when I'm talking here, I always say generally. Because generally, like, wheat bread is supposed to be better. But if you have certain conditions or allergies, white bread might be better for you instead of the wheat bread because of the ingredients of wheat. The ingredients in the wheat bread. And the wheat itself doesn't click with everybody, even though it's basically supposed to be healthy. Bran, wheat, and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to stick with the white bread or the sourdough. Sourdough bread. A lot of people don't like the taste of it. Hello. A lot of people don't like the taste of it. They have to get used to it. But that's why I was saying sometimes you have to train your taste buds to like things that you don't like. You just gotta train your taste buds to like things that you don't like. Especially if those things are good for you. Right? You just gotta train because the stuff that we love with the sugar and stuff, probably been eating it since we were kids, so your body was trained to like that. But you're at a point now where you're older, so it's harder to train your body to like the things that may be better for you. And you have to untrain yourself from eating so much sugar sometimes. Sometimes you gotta untrain yourself from eating so much of the sweet, sugary things. Let me tell y'all, I see, it's this woman on here, always talking about her waist. She walked for this, she walked to do that. She ups a few pounds, she down a few pounds. When I tell y'all, all she does is bake sweets. All she does is run to the little dollar store and get sweets. And then every time you turn around, she's picking up on some type of sweet drink that has like maybe about 55 grams of sugar. 55 milligrams of sugar. I'm like, I knew she was fake from the beginning. So I knew she was fake from the beginning. Because anybody who's talking about managing their weight, they don't go get a 6-pack or 4-pack of something today and go get another 6-pack or 4-pack tomorrow. And because that's gluttony. It's gluttony in a way, not just with what you're eating, but you're long-eyed. Like my grandparents used to say, my parents say, you're long-eyed. You're trying to buy it all up before somebody else buys it. And somebody told her about a drink. Every time she goes, now she's trying to get damn half the drinks on the shelf. I'm like, what about the lady that told you about the drinks? Do you ever think that maybe she still enjoys the drink as well? Somebody told her about a drink, right? And she tried it and she liked it. This is a person who struggles with the 15 or 20 pounds up and down, up and down. The drink is sugary. All of those lemonades and Arizonas and stuff like that, unless they say no sugar and even then they have the sugar substitutes. And then that's a whole nother conversation right there. So And just because you walked to get it and you walked it back, are you counting? Because some people have to count calories, especially when you know you're not really ready to be that person that's doing right. If you're eating cake, cookies, baking cakes, cookies, buying cheesecake, buying chocolate cake, all types of different desserts, do you think because you walked that day that you removed it, you got to count up how many calories you took in roughly per week, or you could do it per day. And if you got in about 4,500 milligrams of sugar and you did like a 10-mile walk, and you, especially if you walked at a slow pace and you only burned 1,000 calories, come on now. You're still in the hole with the sugar. You're still in the hole with the calories. Yeah, sodas and sweets, they bad. They're bad. The processed stuff, the sodas, the sweets, the stuff in the box, the stuff in the middle of the grocery store, right? What do they tell you? They teach you that everything around the perimeter. Where are the fruit? Time you walk into Walmart, head right, head left, depending on your Walmart, fruit is never really in the back of most grocery stores. You walk into Aldi, what are you hit with? Fruit. You have a few items that they sell, like chairs and stuff like that, but you see fruit, right? And as you go around, like Walmart, you have of course, you got the bakery right there by the fruit, which that's not good, but you're hit with the fruit. And then if you stay around the perimeter, skip the bakery, and you'll go around to the meat and into the dairy and stuff like that, in which, some people have to watch their dairy intake as well. But definitely in the middle, you got the canned goods in the boxes. And I try my best to eat fresh, but I do buy canned goods because for emergency situations, you're cooking something, don't have really anything to go with your meat. You to grab a can of no salt string beans, throw them over in there and heat them up. Peas, beans, corn, whatever you eat. A lot of people don't know that corn also has a type of sugar that sometimes cause stomach upset. But just get you something fast like that sometimes, or for like bad weather. So I do get some canned foods, canned goods for those occasions, or sometimes for this just that occasion where it's the weekend or it's late in the evening, you're not gonna cook, and you don't do it often, and you grab a can of something, can of salmon, okay? You don't have any fresh salmon, you got a taste for some type of salmon. So that's what we do. That's what we do. Like, canned goods aren't good, but you do need some canned goods when weather is bad, power is out, emergency situations. During the pandemic, it was good to have canned goods, but it's it's kind of really good to stay away from canned goods. If you are going to get the canned goods, get the no salt, low salt, because there has to be so much salt in it to preserve it in that can, right? So get the low salt, the no salt, the veggies in water, or unless it's like fish oil, if the veggies in fish oil, omega-3, not omega-6, omega-3, not omega-6. Hey, Georgia girl. Georgia girl says, hi, chat. Hey, Georgia girl, how you doing? Welcome into the chat. We over here just talking about some day-to-day stuff. Thursday, Thoughtful Thursday thoughts, okay? And I say thoughtful thoughts because we all have a lot of thoughts, right? But sometimes our thoughts aren't nice. Our thoughts aren't good. Our thoughts are a little bad. So we're talking about really thoughtful thoughts. And they can still be thoughtful as well. But when I say thoughtful thoughts, I mean thoughts that you put into things when you're trying to improve, trying to be better, trying to have some type of an accomplishment, those type of thoughts. Thoughtful thoughts, put some thought into those type of thoughts. Because sometimes we don't put a lot of thought into the thoughts. They're like fleeting thoughts. Oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to cook this tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you said you're going to cook it. You didn't thaw it out. So you didn't put a thoughtful thought into it to take it out in time while you're at work. You'll take it out late at night or early in the morning, right? You didn't think what you would have with it. Just something simple. That's just an easy example. That's an easy example. So put some thought into your thoughts. Make sure that your thoughts are thoughtful. Okay, how are you going to accomplish your goals? You write down your goals, or you put your goals, you have goals in mind, and you say, well, I'm just going to cut back on eating this and that. Next thing you know, you're eating even more of this and that because you didn't have a plan. Like, think about it. You just grab chips whenever you feel like it. You just grab whatever, whenever. So you got to make a mental thought, a thoughtful thought to say this week, only 3 bags of chips. You know? And maybe some weeks you only eat 2 or 3 anyway, but a lot of weeks maybe you just grab it at will whenever you want it. So make it, put some thought into it and make it a point to only have 2 to 3 bags, and make sure that you count those bags and you account for those bags. So we're just having thoughtful thoughts. Just thoughtful thoughts. Talking about canned goods, talking about when you go into the grocery store, you know that supposedly the healthier foods are going to be on the perimeters. And as you think about Walmart, it is. When you hit the store, everybody, because I used to be like this before I became a trainer. Why is the fruit right here? There are bugs, there are flies coming in. But think about it. When they grow the fruit, there are bugs, there are flies. And yeah, they spray stuff on it. So always remember to wash your fruit. Always remember to wash your fruit. Okay? You can buy those fruit washes, or you can just make you some, cap full of vinegar into some water, put it in a bowl, get a little brush and scrub, or wipe real good with your fingers, real good, right? Always remember to wash your fruit and your veggies, right? Sometimes it's hard to literally wash, but I still just put just a little bit. I don't want it to taste too much like vinegar. I don't want it to end up tasting like vinegar, so just put it like a little cap full in a decent amount of water, and just scrub the veggies, the fruit and veggies that you can, or rub them real good with your hand. And then like broccoli and stuff like that, just give it a good rinse around in that vinegar water, baking soda water, with salt water, whatever you use, and then give it a good rinse in regular water. Maintaining, trying to bounce back. How is your foot? How is your foot, Georgia girl? Well, if that plantar fasciitis, I see a lot of people with it. Get you that ball. It works for a lot of people, especially when they catch it early, and just roll. I got some shorts on there, and people wondering like, why you got that tennis ball? Because this is, people ask me to do this short, but it's like, I got the ball, tennis ball, and you just, from right there, where that tendon runs from the heel to the toe, and just roll, just inside the heel actually, and roll. Do it throughout the day, whenever you think about it. Do it throughout the day, whenever you think about it. Yes, I made a plan, and my daughter helped me so much. It's keeping so much in keeping with it. Oh yeah, it'd be hard. It'd be hard sometimes, but she motivates me a lot. I appreciate her and you. And Cheapo, El Cheapo. Yeah. I ain't seen El Cheapo in a minute. What El Cheapo up to? El Cheapo motivates me. That's good, Stefan. Because you just got to keep going. If you've lost 34 pounds, and what did you say? It's been like 2 months. What did you say? Let me see. You're doing good. And that's why I tell people, you have to make a plan. Even if you say, well, I'm not going to diet. I'm just going to eat better. Okay. Well, most weeks you just grab a Snickers, M&M. You grab it how you want to. So you don't necessarily have to make a diet plan if you don't like doing that or don't feel like you have time to do that. But limit yourself. This week, I'm going to only have 1 candy bar or 2 candy bars. Or like I used to do, when my kids would want candy, we would get 1 Snickers bar and third it up. Because you have to train. I used to teach them, hold it in your mouth. Don't just eat it. It tastes good. If you just bite, chew, swallow, you're just going to bite, chew, swallow, bite, chew, swallow. Hold it in your mouth a little bit. It's about the taste, okay? It's about the taste. You're quenching the thirst. Now, if you're hungry, it's going to be harder to do that because you're hungry. That's why you should never go to the grocery store when you're hungry. And you should never let yourself get too hungry. But sometimes we do get hungry. I mean, it's life. We work. They're in school. Things happen. It could be a day out after school. Everybody's in the car. We go into the grocery store, grab that Snicker bar. Now, it's 3 of you. Say it's 3 of you, or 4 of you. You can get 4 Snicker bars, or you can get 2 and you guys can share. So you cut down your calories, right? And in your mind, you're thinking, I want a whole one. You teach your kids to not always want a whole something, a whole of something, right? The whole of it. Split it and tell them, hold it on your tongue. Where are your taste buds? Your taste buds are on your tongue. So when you really want a lot of something, sometimes all you gotta do, like chocolate chip cookies, a serving is 2 cookies, but most people eat about 8 before they stop. 6, 7, 8. Hold it on your tongue. And some people are like, I'm not, that gets moist and wet. You don't have to hold it till it gets moist and wet, but just hold it and savor it a few seconds. Savor it. What you're desiring is a mind game. What you're desiring is the taste. Your tongue has your taste buds. But if you chomp, chomp, chomp and swallow, chomp, 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 swallow, yeah, you taste it, but you're not getting, it's kind of like quenching a thirst. You're not quenching your desire for the taste because you're just chomp, 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 chew, chew, swallow. Hold it, savor it for a little bit. Let your taste buds give you what you want, that taste. And you go from eating 6, 7, 8 cookies, and then 2 hours later, you go back and get 3 or 4 more, right? So you go from doing that to eating maybe 2 or 3, and maybe an hour or 2 later, you get 1 or 2. So cut back. So you don't necessarily always have to just diet, but you can cut back. George Girl says, so I did a ball and a water bottle. I've been doing videos on live stream. Did shock, you did, excuse me, y'all. You did shock therapy today? Oh, how was that? How was that, Georgia Girl? Just painful at times, but I was peeping. How was that, Georgia Girl, the shock therapy? Okay, 2 months. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you could do that in 2 months, you got it. You already got it. A lot of people, it take them a minute. They may give themselves a goal of like a pound per week or 2 pounds per week, and aim for like 8 to 10 pounds per month. And so they, and if they can reach that, that's like 20 pounds. So you've lost 34. That's good. That is good. Well, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. It has been an hour. We already talked about those R words, right? Rest, relax, okay? Relate, release, resolve, replenish, restore, respect, rejuvenate, refill, refocus, replan, repurpose, reevaluate, right? And restart. Restart. Think about those R words every day, at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, use those R words to think about what you plan to do the next day or for the next few days. Remember the 4-letter word self? 4-letter word self is a great prefix to a lot of good words. Self-love, self-commitment, self-dedication, self-determination, self-evaluation, self-respect, self-fulfillment, right? Self-motivation. Motivate yourself. Motivate yourself. If you find motivation from someone else, or if someone else motivates you and it's authentic and it's positive, that's good. But make sure that there are no ulterior motives. Motivate yourself. Seek your motivation from God, then motivation from yourself, and motivation from those who truly know you, your family and friends. That's where your greatest motivation will come from, right? Self-control. So, selfish. It's okay to be selfish, okay? It's okay to be selfish sometimes. You got to take care of yourself so that you can continue to take care of those that you love, right? Stefan says, amen. Yeah, bro, you got to take care of yourself so that you can continue to take care of those that you love. So you have to be selfish sometimes and spend a little time with self. Georgia Girl says, I did not like it. I got to do a few sessions. Okay, no live stream to my feet. Get a little, okay, if you sit too long, it hurts. Okay, so have you been icing and elevating? Okay, I have it elevated. Okay. I was about to say, yeah, kind of ice it, elevate it, and they say ice it, but you can try warm to see if that makes it feel better. But usually they say ice it, But you know how people are different. Sometimes what most people do works, but for a few people, the opposite works. So try different things to see what works better for you. So you guys know what I wish you, right? First of all, I don't want you to let bother people bother you. I don't want you to let stress people stress you out. And I don't want you to find yourself in somebody else's misery space, like misery lounge. Whether it's a place, your friend's home, your neighbor's home, your family's home, right? Because you can go back to your home. You don't have to be there with dealing with that, right? Whether it's somebody's platform, their channel, their page, right? If you find yourself in a misery zone, a misery lounge, a misery spot, a misery area, grab your grip and go. GYGAG. Grab your grip and go. Okay? And if they come into your place, tell them to GTGAG, to grab their grip and go. Grab their grip and go, because you don't have to tolerate that. Even if you're in the grocery store. I know it can be a headache, and you're like, I'm not going to move nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. That's what most of us think. But before you let them get you out of character and get on your nerves, remember, peace is the requirement. So it automatically becomes the reward. So I'm telling y'all that because I'm telling myself that, right? That's why I say I'm not a motivational speaker, because most of the things that I'm saying, I say to myself to get myself out of those places, right? To get myself out of those places. So just go around to the next aisle, come back around, hopefully they're gone, you know? And I know some people are going to be like, I'm not going to the next aisle because then I'll forget my stuff. Well, if you got a list, don't scratch it off, okay? Don't go until everything is scratched off. So you'll make sure that you remember to get it, right? Good night, Georgia girl. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you, Stefan, bro. You know I always appreciate you. Says positive energy will make you feel better. Yes, it definitely will. It definitely will. And like I tell you, Stefan, I be saying this stuff for myself because I already told y'all, I had asked years ago, what's your biggest flaw? Mine is a lack of patience. When it comes to communicating, when it comes to doing things, because I expect for it to be done like then. I expect for people to understand me like then. But I have to work on that, because think about it. We're all human. Nobody's perfect. I might irritate people because I didn't understand something they said pronto, you know? But that's just my character. That's just how I am. Sometimes it's because it's genetics, you know. Sometimes it's just a mix of you being a part of your dad, being a part of your mom. Maybe not even them. It's just you. It's just you. Maybe you're like your grandmother, you're like your auntie, or maybe it's just you. Maybe your mother and your dad are like, I don't know where she gets that from, or your I don't know where he gets that from, like your brother, your sister. So just try your best to create positive energy, and know that whatever it is that you've been through, that you're going through or go through, put God first. And out of all the sayings, try to remember, if he brings you to it, pray that he brings you through it. If he brings you to it, pray that he brings you through it. So I wish you peace, positivity, and prosperity, right? Peace, positivity, and prosperity, because y'all already know without peace, there's chaos, there's havoc. Without positivity, there's negativity. And wherever the two live together, play together, roam together, if you got chaos and negativity, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. I want you guys to prosper. I want to prosper. I want to be better. I hope that you want to be better. Nobody's perfect. Some people aren't really bad, you know, but they have areas that they can improve. So we want peace, positivity, and prosperity so that we can walk patiently and purposefully and peacefully into our purpose. Good night, y'all. Bye, bro. Bye, Stefan. Bye, Big Kane, bro. Thank you for coming through. Where that old troll is? Oh, I forgot I got rid of the troll. The J Jordan, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, Georgia girl. Thank each and every one of you guys. Much love to you. Much love to you. And I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lions Pride. I gotta cross this street. Bye, y'all.